Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another episode. I'm Sahib. This right here is Nabil. Round 0 underway, the AFL season for 2026. Opening rounds just past us. How are we going?
Not great. Not great.
You can say that. I don't feel that way.
But overall, no, it's good. Footy's back.
Absolutely.
There's footy back every day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How good is that? So,
Absolutely. Like, we've been waiting a long time for this, and finally, and round 0 did not disappoint.
No, it did not.
For some it did.
This is going to be a long year.
For you, yes. Or for Carlton supporters, yes. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
Let's go there. Let's start there. Thursday night. Sydney,
what
Carlton, SCG. Another season, another second half blowout. Another game. Another second half blowout.
We checked out at halftime from the stadium from Carlton.
The supporters flew up or drove up only to watch 2 quarters of footy. It's tough.
I said it on Thursday. I'm going to say it again. I can't believe you guys let Charlie Kerno and his new mates dance on your heads.
Just unbelievable. The first half was positive, and look, we can take some positive signs out of that. Jagger Smith and Sam Walsh looked okay.
Yep.
The forward line with Ainsworth and Will Hayward looked all right. Florent was sort of going okay.
Yep.
Boston half back line.
Yep.
So there was some positives. Elijah Hollins, we spoke about him last week. He was pretty good.
Yep.
But I'm sort of interested in the storylines around the game, not so much the actual game. 12 goals in the third quarter. There's enough said. But I'm interested, and I've been thinking about this on one of my many drives.
Yep.
The problem I have with Carlton, and I expressed this in very unfathomable terms 24 hours ago, so I'll try and put it a little bit more fathomably.
Let's go.
So last year, they decided to extend Michael Voss's contract. All right?
Did they
not extend, they sort of said...
Kept him on.
They said, we'll give him another year.
Yep.
But then you entered this trade period where they were sort of almost looking to future-proof themselves a little bit.
Yep.
You got the 3-rounders for... Charlie.
Yep.
And then the kids. And then even across the preseason, there was this intention to play the kids.
Yep.
But you sort of have a coach who needs to win now.
Absolutely.
Who needs to win now.
Yep.
But you're sort of looking almost saying... oh, maybe we could go again in 3 years because of the players you bring in. Now, I don't mind the regeneration of the list. I don't mind that. I have no problem with that. But it just seems like the club is confused. And my problem is, and this is where if you don't believe Voss is your man to win you a flag in 3 years' time, he should have gone last year. If you believe he's the man to win you a flag in 3 years' time, then sign him on for another 3 years. Give him a 3-year deal.
I agree.
So what they've done is they've sort of said, all right, we'll let you go again.
Yep.
But, like...
are they almost confused within themselves?
I think they are.
In terms of the direction they want the club to go in and how they want things to go, but in reality, what is happening?
Exactly my point. I don't think the club has an identity in the sense that you've got... for any successful club, from president to the fans, they all need to be on the same page.
Yep.
I'm not sure that's the case at Carlton.
Okay,
but maybe it's a harsh call after opening round. But I just don't see that.
We're going to see next week against Richmond. But in saying that then, do you think the club needs to almost reconfigure what they're, like where they're heading?
Just don't
do you want to accept, hey, we need to rebuild and regenerate and that's where we're going? Or you're going to sit here and say, we can compete, but then that comes with the opposite end of, well, if you say you're going to compete, but you're not bringing results, what's going on?
Well, give us a clear message.
Yeah.
Say to the fans, we don't think we're going to be able to compete this year. Not that they'll say that in those terms, but
exactly.
They'll just say, look, we're sort of building this list for a few years, right?
Yep.
And then be very, very clear and sort of say, look, Voss is our man.
Yep.
We're going to back him in. If you're not going to back him in, bro, let him go and bring someone that's going to take this, Melbourne is a good example. They went a year on too long with Simon Goodwin.
Yep.
Then they realised Goodwin is not our man. They ripped the Band-Aid off.
Yep.
They've gone with Stephen King. They've gone in a different direction, trading out Petrarca, Oliver.
And they know they're rebuilding.
And they're rebuilding. The fans are very clear. But Melbourne fans last year was sort of like, well, do we think we can go again with this list?
Yeah.
But they're playing the kids, so it's a mini rebuild.
Yeah.
But we're not really sold on Goodwin. Carlton is going through the exact same thing. So
I agree.
That's my frustrations at the moment with Carlton.
There's one thing that popped up a lot after the game finished, and it was your fan base, the Carlton supporters, that were saying drop Patrick Cripps. These people are actually like, the Carlton fan base is
I
finished.
think Rory Sloane said it on the Sunday Footy Show. We are very emotional. Now,
Yeah, he's not wrong about that.
I do think he's wrong on that. I think
he's definitely not wrong
anyone
about that.
talks about Carlton supporters from the outside without being inside the tent, and when I'm saying inside the tent,
As in being a
unless
Carlton
you're
supporter.
a Carlton supporter and you've seen the crap that this club and the footballers over the last 30 years have put up, you don't understand. So it's very, very easy to sit on the outside on your couch,
about that,
drinking a
bro.
cup of coffee on a Sunday morning. Carlton fans are too emotional.
But you are.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
No,
they
but
don't get it.
all sporting fans are emotional, but Carlton supporters have a
We're
different.
we have every right to be emotional. We have a
No,
license to
you
be
do.
emotional.
No, you do. But it's more. I guess you could say projected
Nah,
than
I
other
don't think
supporters.
so.
Because there's more shit that Carlton puts you guys through that you guys react to.
We care about our club.
Yes.
We love our club.
Yep.
We've put up with this crap.
You're loyal to your
We're
club.
loyal
Yep.
to our club.
Yep.
I think we have every right to be emotional, and I don't even think we're not emotional enough.
No, I think you guys, listen, anybody out there will agree you guys are too emotional in the sense that the Carlton supporters were saying drop Patrick Cripps
Yeah.
before anybody else said it. So, brother, one bad game.
Yeah,
No, don't get me wrong. And
they-
I think they were right when they said on the Sunday Footy Show that Patrick Cripps is not the same Patrick Cripps he
No,
once
that's
was.
a bit harsh. Again, that's a big harsh.
Patrick Cripps is not
They
the
won a
Patrick
Brownlow
Cripps.
4 years ago.
4 years ago,
2022.
4 years ago, long time,
it was
bro.
harsh,
Come on.
man. He's a good player that's had one bad game.
He's not consistent enough.
He still finished, what was it, 18th in the Brownlow last year?
No, I understand that. And listen,
That's a top 20 player. And then we can
umpires.
argue about the Brownlow, and that's a separate conversation.
But what are your thoughts on that? Should he get dropped?
That's ridiculous. That is
Okay.
the worst. I don't even acknowledge
It
that
came
take.
from your fan base.
But there's a lot of fans also saying sack Michael Voss.
Okay. And listen, last year they graffitied Icon Park. This year
Yeah.
they might burn it down.
And
the
look-
way things are going.
We play Richmond in a couple of days' time.
Yep.
If
And
we
we're gonna
lose
have a
badly to
repeat-
Richmond-
a repeat of last year.
If we lose badly to Richmond, there's not going to be a player and not going to be a coach.
Can I just
that's
say
under
one
more
thing about
pressure.
Carlton? Now, both last year and this year, in
Tell
your
me.
first game of the season, you guys were dominating the game by half time.
Yeah.
Last year against Richmond, until
41
almost
points up.
three-quarter time, yeah, you guys were comfortably up.
Yeah.
And then it went sideways. Same thing happened with
Yeah.
Sydney. What
Dude,
is the issue with Carlton after halftime? Like, what
I
happens
don't
to
know.
these players once they
I
go
think,
inside
look,
those rooms?
We'll talk about Sam Docherty's comments a little bit later on.
Okay.
But I think he was actually spot on.
Yeah.
We feel it. There's no belief. It's like Arsenal supporters in a title league. You're 7 points up. There's a handful of games. and
the bill.
the players and the fans are just as nervous about winning the league. No, we're not talking too much about soccer, but it's the same sort of nervousness.
You
that
know what the
Carlton
irony about
supporters-
this is?
I support both. Unbelievable.
You're not wrong about that. But yeah, Carlton had a shocking. I'm
Shocker.
not going to even say shocking game. Shocking second half.
Yeah.
And especially that third quarter.
And look, shout out Errol Goulden from the Sydney Swans.
And
Heaney,
and McInerney.
McInerney.
They wiped
even
the floor with you guys.
Curnow,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Amadi.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, Sydney played well. Give them their flowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goulden really turned it on in that third quarter. Jeez, he's a great player.
And that's where you need guys like Patrick Cripps to stand up.
Yeah, well, good luck to Cripper. I'll be back next week. I'll back him.
Absolutely.
So shout out Sydney. as well.
Absolutely. Now,
We're moving over to Sunday night. Opening round, MCG, 82,000 for a St Kilda home game, the largest St Kilda home game.
and 60,000 of them are Collingwood supporters.
Talk
Yeah.
to me.
We won our first opening round ever.
You did,
Our first opening
yes.
round game ever.
It did.
Yeah, big crowd at the MCG. I think St Kilda, talk a lot of shit about St Kilda today.
Yeah.
But, listen, they're the ones that brought it upon themselves. They brought out the war chest.
Yeah.
They emptied the credit card, maxed it out. They did all that shit. And then they served up leftovers. So I'm not going to really, you want a big crowd, want a big game, want it in Melbourne at the Coliseum. You need to dish up that shit. Come on.
They choked.
Collingwood played pretty well, actually. There's one man,
I know.
Scott Emblery, if
Yes.
anybody knows that reference. Scott Pendlebury had the game of his life with
He did.
55% game time
He
on the
did.
field, 26 disposals, 11
He
contested,
was so good, man.
5 goal assists.
He was, every time he had the ball, something happened.
At 3/4 time, I don't know which one of the Fox footy commentators on the boundary were just like, they're like, if you want to score a goal, just stand around Pendlebury.
Yeah.
You'll somehow get the ball and you'll
He'll
score.
make things happen. He's such a good player.
Hey, you know what? We were talking about headlines last week. I got a headline for everybody. Sign on Scott Pendlebury for the next 5 years.
He'll get another year. He'll get another year.
After that, no, like genuinely, I had a lot of doubts going into this game for Collingwood, simply because of the fact that, again, the age-old conversation of it's a senior citizens club, the pensioners are out there, all this bullshit. Yep, like usual. But the guys actually showed up.
They did.
They played well. The midfield hummed. The goalie being fully fit.
The system stood up.
Yep, and yesterday it was literally that. It was a system beating St Kilda
100%.
because in every major static category of stats, St Kilda won. Contested possessions, tackles, inside 50s, all of that.
100%.
Their disposal efficiency was horrible. Their efficiency going inside 50 was horrible.
Yeah.
And for the amount of inside 50s they had, our defense stood up with no more and no how. And it was a lot. It was really good to see Collingwood actually play and follow a system rather than hope and pray when they play.
I think McRae said that post game. He sort of said, look, the 2 practice games, we sort of try to expose as many players as we can to our system. Yep. And I think that really shone last night.
Yeah, absolutely. The younger guys that came in, Ed Allen, Rowan Steele, played their roles very well. Will Parker off the halfback line. Shout out to Will Parker. He had a crazy game yesterday. Playing off that halfback line. They trusted him in that. I believe it was the qualifying final against Adelaide last year when Howe got injured. Yeah. And he had a field day that day and he played well and they trusted him again for round 1 and he delivered. The guys in the middle, the 2 Dacos brothers, they had a field day. They
Nick
feasted.
Dacos, was 41?
41,
Nick Dacos.
13 score involvements,
he had a dominant
something meters game.
There was a clip I saw earlier this morning
Yep.
where he broke 2 tackles and sliced it, 50 meters
on the outside of his foot. Yeah, I remember. It was Nick Dacos and about 4 St Kilda players around him.
He just danced. Whoa, whoa. And then
literally
a 50-meter spear
on the outside of his foot. I don't
to a player right on the lead.
Even Brian Taylor was like, goodness gracious, he could not believe what he was seeing. How he got himself out of that and how he got that ball to Schultz in the middle of the ground was unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
They had a field day. Degoe had a great game.
Degoe did have a good game.
3 goals, 20 disposals.
You said this year could be the year of Jordan Degoe. You were very optimistic about him.
It's not so much optimistic I am, but it's also an expectation. I'm expecting this guy to actually turn up. He's had a full preseason. His body's right finally after a couple of years of injuries and inconsistencies. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to play well this year. There's one guy I do want to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Harry Perryman.
I know you were going there.
Harry Perryman.
It was only a matter of time.
And they said during the week, Nick Dacos after the game when they were doing an interview said during the week, Craig McRae was asking, hey, who wants to play on Naz? Like, who wants to do a run with job with Naz? And Harry Perryman put his hand up and said, I will. Yeah. And I'm happy to run with him all day. And Naz tried to do everything he could possibly do to
Naz
run.
was beaten.
He took him to full forward. He played off.
Apart from that goal he kicked, I think, in the
second quarter. Yep.
Naz was well and truly beaten.
Absolutely. And Perryman did a job. Now, we don't technically have taggers at Collingwood.
No, you don't.
But the way Perryman played that game yesterday, he's a defensive midfielder, to be completely honest.
It could suggest he's going to play more tagging roles throughout the year.
Or run with roles, yeah, absolutely.
Play on someone like any one of those mids that run all day. Not your inside mids, but sort of your Naz
like an Ed Richards,
yeah,
absolutely.
Spot on.
And he had a pretty good game. Collingwood didn't bomb the ball like they normally do and just run and chase. 76% disposal efficiency, which actually really helped us.
It's pretty good.
Because if you look at our inside 50 count, tackles, contested possessions, clearances, we got smashed in all those
positive direction.
We got smashed in all of those. Yeah. And St Kilda won them, but our disposal efficiency moving forward
was a difference in the end.
Our hand pass link game. And then, once we got inside 50, just hitting the scoreboard, even though we were both...
shout out, there's a player I want to give a shout out when you talk about linking systems. And
who do you want?
Dan Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to a lot of that, he was instrumental. From half-back, in the middle. Yeah. Setting plays up.
Absolutely.
He sort of became almost a senior member in your defense very, very quickly.
Well,
he's not a kid.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a very experienced campaigner. So
he's taken on he started his second year much better than his First year.
I think last year the issue was that he was forced into the Collingwood system, whereas now I think even over the preseason they were saying they were kind of helping him excel in the areas that he's good at and making that a part of the system, because you can't have a player as good as him who's kicking and whose disposal efficiency is as good as him and go, hey, we're not going to worry about that, just play with the system.
Yeah.
You're going to try and incorporate his skills into the system. Which they did great.
That's good.
And it turned out well. There's a couple of horrible kicks he made yesterday, but it's kind of a learning curve. Like, it's not the end of the world. So, yeah, opening round, Collingwood, in my opinion, killed it. They did an amazing job getting through St Kilda and its war chest. Definitely a great start to Collingwood and their
not
season.
a great start to Carlton, good start to Collingwood. Hopefully, the changes.
Let's hope that doesn't become the theme of the year this year.
Moving on.
Absolutely, and it's time for
our top team of the week and our flop team of the week.
Absolutely.
What have we got?
You want to start us off, or do you want me to start?
I'll let you start us off. What do you got for us?
My top team of the week is the Western Bulldogs.
Sons of the West.
Yeah, we've been calling them percentage farmers.
Yes.
Flat track bullies.
Yeah.
They can't show up to beat anybody, but they'll go with teams outside the top 8. And they knocked off the reigning premier.
They did, absolutely. In a great game of footy too.
They went up to the Gabba. Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great game.
Went up to the Gabba, did an amazing job competing with Brisbane. Brisbane were up by, I think, 22 points halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
And the Bulldogs did not let us slip. Yeah, absolutely. Did an amazing job.
Shout out Ed Richards as well. Good was he?
Very, very, very good on the weekend.
Kicking.
Absolutely. I think Luke Beveridge played around with the Magnets a bit as well.
He always does it.
In the forward line, Bont kick 3. So the Bulldogs, for all the shit that they've copped and all the rubbish that's been thrown their way, they've come out of the blocks first game of the season and played well. We'll speak a little bit about their defense a little later on. But yeah, my top team of the week is Western Bulldogs. And yours?
Mine is the Gold Coast Suns. We are the Suns. Oh, look, I'm a big fan of the Gold Coast Suns.
They look very scary.
Christian Petrarca played one of his best games I've ever seen him play.
Highest rated game for Christian Petrarca in his career.
Wow, yeah. And it showed.
Yeah.
He was back to his old best. Explosive, hitting targets, 3 goals, 30 disposals.
Yep.
A perfect game of AFL football.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, the Gold Coast looks scary. Just the players they're yet to have come in as well.
Jamara Ugo-Hagan kicked 6 in the VFL.
Yeah, he's coming in.
Yep.
They'll get Rail coming in, the former Brownlow medalist
as well.
So they're going to be I said last week they're not going to lose a game. I'm going to stand by that. Gold Coast Suns. I
don't know about that.
At the camera. The Gold Coast Suns will not lose a game this year.
I don't know about that. But they will definitely be competing.
There's no weaknesses in that team.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, and it's finally looking on the up for Gold Coast and their supporters. So shout out to Gold Coast for the performance against Geelong. And listen, every time Geelong get plastered, we're very happy.
Can't complain.
Absolutely. Now, our flop teams of the week.
Yes,
I'll let you start with that.
Yes, my flop team of the week is Carlton. Anytime you can see 12 goals in a quarter of footy, you're going to be a flop team of the week.
I think it's a record, 12 goals, or a new broken record.
Yeah. It might be, or it's been that conversation. Yeah,
close to, yeah.
I mean, we spoke about Carlton plenty already. Yeah, so I'll leave it short and sweet.
Yeah, fair enough. My flop team of the week are the Saints.
Saints, yeah.
Like I said earlier,
they had the war chest.
Yeah, they brought out the cavalry, the backup, the lot of them. They brought out their multi-million-dollar players as well. And I just think. It's not that they didn't play well enough. It's just they weren't efficient enough in actually causing any damage with their play.
The Saints. I think the Saints will go better than what they'll be. They could be a top 8. They could be close to the 8. I think they'll play in top 10.
I think they'll be in the top 10 as well.
They didn't have a bad game. They just beat them in the end by a better system.
And also, let's not forget, this is a group of players that are all playing together for the first time. Now, obviously, that's not an excuse because they played decently. It's just their entries into forward 50, horrible, because it was just long, high kicks that were just getting killed by Collingwood's defense. Their disposal efficiency wasn't that great, and they invited a lot of pressure.
They did.
Which is what I didn't understand, because I'm just like, you guys have disposal, you guys can spread and run, but...
Do you know one criticism of the Saints?
Yes.
They don't have apart from Naz, they're lacking another good mid.
Well, Naz hasn't been in proper mid until now.
And he hasn't been. But,
right?
I
And
mean,
the moment he got tagged as a mid, he was
he's
nowhere to
gone.
be found. So now with Flanders,
Windhager.
Jack Sinclair,
Yeah.
Jack McRae. So there's a fair
Yeah,
few
just-
midfielders that can actually
No,
play.
I think Sinclair's was an off halfback. He's a pretty decent mid. McRae's past his best.
yeah,
I don't know.
Windhager and Flanders are
they're sort of
almost-
waiting on him to become this
yeah,
player, but he's not
absolutely.
there yet.
yeah,
Flanders, he didn't have the greatest game.
yep.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Saints
I-
midfield, one to watch. I don't know. Forget it. St Kilda has an ordinary midfield, very ordinary.
Also did
midfield.
here first. So
Yeah.
yeah, Saints are my flop team of the week for that reason. Just I hope they actually I don't really care if they do better or not, but for their sake and for their fan base's sake,
Hope so.
hopefully they do a better job next week. Now there's a bunch of shit that had place on the weekend. There's
Yes.
a whole lot of things that happened, and we had a lot of conversations about it.
Absolutely.
We want to have a chat about some of these things, and we'll start off with the Hawthorn Hawks.
Yes.
And I could almost say subpar game against GWS on Saturday afternoon.
Belted in the middle.
Yes, and why do we think that is because of?
We both are in agreement on this. It's a lack of an A grade mid.
Yep.
The fact
Besides Jai Newcomb.
that, they're sort of having to rely on players like Connor Nash and
Yeah.
Nick Watson and
Carter McDonald.
Dylan Moore.
Cam
and
McKenzie. Yeah.
they're all sort of Cam McKenzie. I think has that potential to step in to becoming a
Yep.
B grade, maybe A grade mid.
Yep.
I think they didn't want to trade him last year because they thought of his talents, but he hasn't delivered.
But potential to be in a team that's technically contending or competing, like
Yeah,
you're a bit behind the eight
But
ball at that point. You know what I'm
teams,
saying?
a lot of teams inquired about McKenzie and they were all shut down.
I mean,
even
yeah,
St
fair
Kilda
enough.
did from memory.
I have a question for you in that case. Do you think, well, not that it was necessarily completely up to them, but do you think not getting Zach Merritt over the line and to the club last year in the trade period is haunting them now?
Absolutely. And to further that take, or
Yeah.
is it watching or listening something somewhere?
Yeah.
And he pointed out maybe they should have went after Christian Petrarca. Would have been easier. They probably would have been able to get him.
Or Oliver.
Or Oliver.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have cost them as much.
Yeah. It definitely wouldn't
And they
have
would
cost
have
them as much.
been in a far better position.
Yeah,
But
I
they went
agree.
all in on Merritt and couldn't get the job done.
Pour your eggs in one basket, and that's, I guess, the consequences of it. So I think Hawthorn's midfield is in a bit of trouble if they can't either sort out a way to help Newcomb, because Will Day
is there
is
another
also,
solution for them?
well, a fit and healthy Will Day would help.
Yeah, but apart from that, I can't
Apart
really
from
think
that,
of
not really
Not
right
really.
now.
They just-
Even if
they'd have to back their system and their defense to hold up and then slingshot the other way.
literally, and they'd probably want more of a contribution from Carl Amon, Jarman Impey,
Yeah.
these guys running through the midfield, as well off halfback for that, simply because the current crop of midfielders they have alone, I personally don't think we're.
I'm the biggest hater of
Hawthorn. You've been
one of
hating
the
for a long
biggest
time.
haters of Hawthorn. But I think someone made a good point. Sam Mitchell in 2018 with
Yep.
the West Coast, he had Gaff and he didn't have Natanui.
Yeah.
He was the mids. Sam Mitchell was the
Mids coach, yep.
coach. And he was able to swing the magnets around and turn West Coast into
Well,
premiers.
Sam Mitchell's a coach of Hawthorn, so
See what he can do.
absolutely. We spoke a little bit about Gold Coast earlier, and we said how scary they're looking. There's a couple of players that I want to mention
Talk
from
to
the
me.
game on the weekend. Bailey Humphries,
Yes.
along with Christian Petrarca by his side. I think those two guys have become almost, and it's only one game in, and we're going to obviously see the rest of what the season's going to look like for them, but almost the perfect 1-2 punch explosive guys out of the midfield.
Dusty and Dusty Lights.
Literally exactly that. And just how explosive and how quickly they can move the ball. And once they get within like that 55 to 60 meter
Yep.
range, they can just send the ball and you just watch it sail over your
Yeah.
head as a defender. What do you think, or more, the better question would be, do you think there's any gaps or holes in Gold Coast's team at the moment?
Not many, because you look at their defense, Mac Andrew and Sam Collins.
Yeah.
Maybe Mac Andrews doesn't defend as well as Sam Collins does.
Yeah.
Their midfield, Rao, Anderson, Petrarca, Humphries. That's 4 names I've mentioned.
Tuke Miller.
Tuke Miller.
Yeah.
And then their forward line is just stacked.
Stacked and still,
stacked,
there's more
yeah.
stacks waiting outside to come
And
in
then
as
even
well.
you have players like John Noble and Dan Riolo off your
Yep, off half-back line, yep.
stacked everywhere. Like I said, Gold Coast do not have a weakness. I'm well and truly sold on that team.
Because what we saw on Friday night, I think it was, and the way they were just tearing Geelong apart.
They're going to do that to a lot of teams.
Just run and carry, overlap, especially Noble and Rioli. And I think those two actually have very, very good foot skills.
Absolutely.
For the way they not only rebound, but once they rebound, where they get the ball to. And both of them fast players. So it's not like if they don't have to kick the ball, they can run with it if they have space. And then, yeah, like you said, their midfield is stacked. The Brownlow medalist, all Australians, everybody
There's
in there.
No weaknesses in that team.
And, yeah, their forward line still doesn't have Jamari Ugo-Hagan
Exactly.
in it.
And Jamari is a good player. I keep harping on about this. He kicked 40 goals 2 seasons ago as a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
He's a star footballer.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, just the way they... I think for the first time in a very long time, not only looked like a threat, but they looked like the team. Like,
absolutely.
They are them
They are
type
them.
shit,
Yeah.
you know? And the way, like, they just... It's confidence as well. Decision-making was great. You know, they knew exactly what they were doing. It wasn't like they were trial and erroring shit.
There's just stars all over.
And I think they got a comparison over the weekend after their game to the Richmond team that Damien Hardwick.
I think they're better than that team.
And a lot of people were saying that this team looks a lot more scary and explosive in comparison to that team. So, yeah, Gold Coast have been, at least for their first game of the season, have been looking dangerous all pre-season. But, like, to come out first game and play a grand finalist from last year and decimate them the way they did, glad Geelong hasn't recovered from that grand final.
Shout out Gold Coast.
Absolutely. They're crosstown rivals.
The Brisbane Lions, and we've got here the Zorko 50-metre penalty, and we'll talk about the suspensions and the injuries in a minute, but let's talk about the Dane Zorko one.
Now,
the non-50-metre penalty.
The reason why I brought this up is, as those that watch the show and you, Nabil, know, I've constantly been giving the umpires hella shit for a very long time because I'm not happy with the work that they do across the board. But I wanted to point this out because this was actually a great decision. And I think not necessarily that it didn't go someone's way, but late in that Brisbane Western Bulldogs game on Saturday night, I think there was... maybe 30 seconds left or 20 seconds left. Yeah. Not too long left in the game. The Brisbane were down by 5 points.
And they were making that play.
And they were doing they're rebounding off defensive 50, kicked the ball into the middle of the field for Zorko. Now, some people argued it should have been play on. Some people argued it should be 50. I think the umpires made the right call and just said, hold it back. Zorko took the mark, and as he marked it, he played on. He took a couple of steps to run. Now, the only problem was he slipped in the midst of his second or third step. Whoever was on the mark for the Doggies kind of rushed to almost go to tackle him. But then once he slipped, he kind of stopped and put his arm up and said, no, I'm not trying to play on. Now, the umpires could have said 50-metre penalty. Zorko could have had a shot on goal.
Or they could have
said play on, and he got on tackled, and that was the end of it, which either or didn't happen. And the umpires said, nope, hold it up, let him go back and take his kick. You get back on the mark. And I almost feel like for the first time in a very long time, they read the play of the game properly and made the appropriate decision.
That was game awareness.
Yeah, literally. Like, because either one of those decisions
had a feel for the game.
Because either one of those decisions would have sent the game one way. Either the Doggies would have just held on because it's holding the ball, or he got tackled, stoppage, or he would have said 50-metre penalty and Brisbane get a shot on goal. And they didn't do neither. And I think, in my personal opinion, that was a great decision, and I needed to point that out.
No, fair enough. Look,
a lot of shit.
My opinion, it was play on. For what it counts, I thought it was play on.
After he took those a couple of steps,
I thought it was play on. And if you play on and you slip, bad luck. But what it counts is my 2 cents. But yeah, not a bad shout to say it was a good call.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Brisbane and a couple of their premiership stars,
Harris Andrews to start with, their
Captain Harris Andrews,
3 weeks.
3-week suspension for a wild arm that got thrown at one of the young Bulldogs players.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people are saying it wasn't intentional. A lot of people are saying he didn't mean it or it wasn't all that. But nonetheless, he got concussed. The Bulldogs player got concussed. So they said it was a high grade, intentional more or less.
Impact severe, I think.
Impact severe.
Concussion.
Exactly. So they gave him 3 weeks for Harris Andrews, which means he's going to miss, I believe, the Sydney game this week. And then round 3, they're playing St Kilda and Marvel. And then they're playing Collingwood on Easter Thursday at the Gabba. So Sydney, St Kilda, Collingwood. I don't think they're small games. They usually struggle against St Kilda and Marvel every year. What do you think the repercussions for Brisbane are with their captain?
Thought you were just going to ask me on the suspension. Big question. It's going to be a huge, huge loss to Phil.
Yeah.
He's a general back there. He's more than just a guy. First of all, he's a star defender.
Yep.
He plays his role. He gets rid of his opponent. His opponent
absolutely.
doesn't see daylight. Then after that, he's a general there.
Yep.
And then his intercept marking is second to none. So the repercussions, in summary, well, good luck to Brisbane. If you're playing Brisbane in the next 3 weeks and Harris Andrews is not playing, you take advantage. Because when he's playing, there's a big difference between him playing well and him not playing, or him there.
Playing,
is a massive difference.
I agree.
So
along with a couple of his teammates that also
they all got suspended. Yeah,
Darcy Gardner for a late elbow to Aaron Norton's face, which
it
more or less sealed the game.
It was
Anytime it was
you
there.
hit their head, you're gonna get
Exactly.
cop a week. Same with what's his name, Zach
Bailey as well. So
silly that one.
3 of their premiership stars, and then unfortunately, on top of all that, Hugh McCluggage got injured. So 2 out of their 3 co-captains or tri-captains or whatever they're called at this point,
are
probably
all right.
not playing next week.
It happens in round 0, start of the season. We know
Much rather
Brisbane.
than-
Brisbane, he like to ease their way into the season. So
They do. I
have zero concerns for Brisbane.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Absolutely
concerns. I think they will struggle a bit next week against Sydney, I'll say. Yeah, just a few disciplinary issues for Brisbane.
The elbow was silly by Bailey.
Harris Andrews.
The Harris Andrews ones, I don't think he meant it. Bailey's one was silly. The guys on the floor, you stick your elbow out and hit him in the head. So
absolutely.
I didn't like that. And the last thing we want to talk about for this segment.
Hit me up. What's up?
Sam Docherty. I mentioned it
Sam
earlier in
Docherty
the earlier segment.
Yes.
Basically, okay, send a voicemail to voice message, whatever you want to call it, to Dan Gorringe.
Yep.
In summary, he basically said the way to beat Carlton is you match us on the inside.
Yep.
And then bit of pressure, bit of heat, chokers.
He ain't wrong.
And you know what? That is how the Carlton fan base has been feeling for year on end. The reason I give Docherty's comments a lot of weight is he's been in that club through the Voss years, before the Voss years. He's been there. He retired last season.
Yep.
So he knows what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if that's what Sam Docherty is feeling, I'll also make the argument here. That's what a lot of players are feeling.
They're just not saying it out loud.
I think he's saying quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
what a lot of Carlton players internally in the club, and the club,
I agree,
and the fan base should be concerned.
Yeah, I mean, well, the club is the reason why the fan base is concerned.
Yeah.
So he's not wrong. What he's saying is 110%.
It's the blueprint to beat Carlton. Match us on the midfield, on the inside, and then just run us off our legs. And we don't have the
And Carlton always come out of the blocks with that explosiveness to begin with. It's just once that explosiveness is matched and you're quelled, that's it. There's no second gear. There's no other playbook. That's it.
Collingwood do it. I hate doing this. I hate saying this, but I hate making this comparison.
Yeah.
But Collingwood do it really well. When teams get a run on you, just slow the play down.
Yeah.
Play kick to kick. Chip the ball around.
Kill the momentum.
I don't know why we can't do that.
Kill the momentum. Because yesterday, again, to go back to the St Kilda Collingwood game, St Kilda were doing that. And then St Kilda started peeling off. Collingwood said, okay, we'll just chip it around. For the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, we're just chipping it around the back. And St Kilda, every time they pressured, we would just run the chain of handballs, get it out. And then they would be like, okay, we don't know what to do. And I feel like Carlton's very much the same way.
Can't cope with momentum.
Yeah. Or can't cope more so with the pressure that comes with breaking down your momentum.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Once you lose that momentum, it is completely gone.
I don't know whether that's mental. And that's the question we've got to ask. Is that mental or not? But moving on.
First week of the AFL season is wrapped up. Round 0, opening round, whatever you want to call it, has been great. We've enjoyed every bit of it. We've enjoyed the fact that footy is back.
We have.
The pod's back. Weekly episodes are back. You'll hear all our opinions and all the shit we have to talk about. Yeah, absolutely. All the shit that has happened from, or the fallout from the weekend. But yeah, I think we can wrap it up here today.
That wraps us up.
As always, a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody for tuning in.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe.
The Bills learnt the script. I don't even need to say shit after this, bro. But yeah, absolutely. We'll wrap it up here. Take care, guys. We'll see you next week. Ciao.